I want to ask you a question. Are you someone who will go to the movies alone? Will you go to the movies by yourself, get some popcorn or not, go to the movie theater and sit by yourself alone? I want to know, are you that type of person? If you guys are new to this channel, I'm Abby. Thank you for coming. On this channel, we talk about creating the life that you want, and we're going to do this all together. And we want you to come along with us. So, today we're going to talk about some activities, some things that people that live alone can do. All right, some of these things that you might not remember, you might just need a reminder. Okay, let's go through them. And so number one is creativity. So painting, drawing. I know a few years ago or more, those painting classes became really popular, like the paint and sip. So you could do something like that, but you could also take it up just at your house. There are so many things that you can pull off the internet nowadays that you could learn from, or that you could just follow along and have fun. So painting, drawing. If you're not into those things, maybe writing, whether it's journaling or blogging or poetry writing or just reflecting. One of my favorite things to do is to get a really cute, fun journal, and I'll go outside somewhere or in the house, like in a little nook somewhere, or I love going outside into nature and just, journaling and writing. And that takes me to number two, which is self-improvement. And, reading is so good for your brain. Really, all of those activities are good for your brain. But even if you don't like to read, you could use Audible. There's so many good books out there right now that you could just curl up on the couch and listen or read a book. Or like I said, go outside. That's my favorite thing to do, is to go outside if it's not windy out. Online courses is another thing that you could get into. There are some that are free that don't even cost anything. So you could do it as cheap as free. There are really cheap courses, and then there's really expensive courses. It just kind of depends on what you're trying to dive into. But if you are familiar with Skillshare, that is something that I've dove into a couple of years ago, and it's been really fun. Skillshare, I think it's Skillshare.com, but you can go there and they have different classes that you can take. Like whether you're wanting to learn how to graphic design, or maybe you're trying to, if you want to take a course over how to be a better creative writer. If you're trying to learn another language, they've got so many different things on there. You should check it out. Skillshare.com. Number three, activity. Mind, body, and wellness. One of my other favorite things to do is to meditate. And I definitely meditate in a different way than I used to now. And that's something that we can talk about later on if y'all are interested. But I now meditate on the word. I don't meditate as far as, I don't do like affirmations anymore, like I am. I don't do any kind of affirmations, but meditating on the word, that's also something I love to do in nature, but I can do it anywhere. And I really suggest, getting into downtime. Allowing yourself to have that time, even if it's 3 minutes, just to close your eyes and just meditate on the goodness that is and can be. Exercise is another thing that, as a solo person, it can be really rewarding, because like I said in my previous video, living alone, you don't have to answer to anyone. You don't have to be home at a certain time. You don't have to follow a certain routine or schedule. You follow your own, and so you can make your own schedule. You can make your own routine, and so you can fit in, working out or going to the gym or going to a Pilates class or going to a stretch class, or maybe just rolling out a mat at home and turning on YouTube and finding a fun video. So there's lots of fun ways that you can kind of, get in shape as a solo person. Number 4, getting into cooking and baking and wine tasting and coffee tasting. Who knew there were coffee tastings, right? So I've always wanted to do a cooking class. I haven't done one yet, but it is something that I really would love to do. I used to really enjoy cooking, and then I got out of it just because I got so busy. And now I'm kind of trying to get back into it because I do have more time now. And I'm actually really getting into baking, which I never thought I would. But it's because I've gotten into sourdough baking. And so if you're into sourdough, let me know. I want to know if you are into sourdough baking and if you have any tips for me on how to make a good bread. And wine, I don't really drink wine, but I could see some people that would love to do like wine tastings and things like that. I would love to do more something like a kombucha tasting. Like, I would love that. A coffee tasting would be really fun, I think. And some people even do it at their home. They'll do these little things at home with their friends, which I'm actually thinking, well, I should do that. I've never done that before, but I think I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do that. Okay, number 5 is movies and TV marathons. Those are so fun, especially late at night or like at night or in the winter time, like having movie marathons with yourself. Like, I love having, what are those called? The Hallmark Christmas movies. Like, they're the cheesiest things, okay? And you know how it's going to end, and you know how the whole movie's going to go because they're all the same. But I love them. And like, I could probably never get away with that if I lived with someone. And then also going to the movies on your own. Do that. If you've never done that, do it. And I'm telling you, the best time to go is on Sunday mornings when school is in session, like from September to May. Go on go during the week early at like 11 o'clock in the morning, or on Sundays at like 10:15, 10:30 when church is in service. It's like the best. You're like the only one in the theater. It used to be like freaky deaky doo to me, but it's pretty fun now. I love it. And I used to not eat the popcorn, but I've started to, but now I'm not going to. I'm not going to eat the popcorn anymore if I go. But I'll be honest with you, I don't watch Hollywood movies anymore, so going to the movie theater is a rarity at this time in my life, unless there is a good production company that's come out with a good, wholesome movie. And I'm so sorry, that's a whole nother topic on its own. And now I'm just rambling. So let's go on to the next activity. All right. So number 7, outdoor activities. This is definitely my favorite. I do this all the time, every day, and I have to. I thrive on it. Going outside, even if it's just outside my backyard. Okay, so if you don't have a backyard and you like to be outside, I suggest finding the neighborhood park and going to the park, or even just because I've lived in the city before where all I've had was my stoop in, the front steps, and that was good enough for me, baby. Okay, so being outside. But if you can, I love gardening. I was so upset the other day. I was having like such a bad day, and like I was feeling very overwhelmed, and I finally made myself go outside, and I had to do some gardening. And so I was doing some gardening, and I was like, man, I need to remember to make myself come outside when I'm feeling like this, because everything went away. I felt so calm. I felt so at peace and super happy and joyous. And so I suggest, if you can, even if you don't have a space to have a garden, sometimes there's areas that have neighborhood gardens that you can either pay a small fee to have a little plot to make your own garden, or you can help garden. But if you don't have those options, you can always buy a planter, even if it's an inside planter, and you can have like an inside little garden. And there are actually edible things that you can grow inside, just on your windowsill. And if you're interested in that, I can always make a video about that. Just let me know in the comments. Number 8 is dining out alone. This is another one of, I don't know if it's a favorite. It's probably not a favorite of mine, but I do highly enjoy going out to eat on my own. I used to feel sorry for people when I would see them alone, and I still kind of do. But I need to not project that sadness on anyone or myself, because I really enjoy being out and about on my own, being able to decide what I eat. I'm a vegetarian, so I have dietary needs and preferences, and it's just easier. It is just more simple, it's easier, and I really enjoy it. I'll do some work sometimes at the restaurant. I'll bring my phone and I'll do some actual work for my business. Or sometimes I'll watch a show, like a YouTube show. Sometimes I'll listen to music. Sometimes I won't do anything. Sometimes I'll just people watch, and sometimes I'll just reflect in my own thoughts. So there you have it. Those are some direct activities that is just a reminder for you, because I know that you already knew all of those things. It's just a reminder for you guys. But remember, create the life that you want. And remember that words matter, words count. So be very careful of what you speak into existence. Until then, we will see you in the next video. And you never know. We'll see where we are then. Bye.